Well, my name is Jim Spencer, and welcome to the ones in person and the ones we have online. This evening, we're thankful that we have Jim Norman with Alorica. They operate the center for Intuit, the Prosperity Hub across the street here. So we do have some online. We're also recording this, and the goal is to help small business to grow. And I think Intuit shares with that sentiment. That's one of the reasons I came to Bluefield, and since that time, they've done a lot of different things. Matter of fact, we'll be doing pop-up retail on Small Business Saturday. Last year, Alorica participated in it. We had some small vendors that even were selling goods out of their location that day. But one of the things I'm going to give you is your own little wooden nickel if you're here. And 50 years ago or more, my granddad gave me a round to it. You young ladies, you ever heard of a wooden nickel? All right. When I was a kid, they always say, don't take any wooden nickels because they're really not worth anything. But I had one that said TUIT. And on the back, it said, now you've got your own genuine round to it so you can get to it. And so we use that in our marketing that if you're starting or expanding the business, let us help you get to it. Our goal is to help grow small business in the region. I don't care if you're in the city, out of the city, in Virginia, West Virginia, wherever. We've helped businesses as far away as Maryland and other places like that. So we appreciate you being here. So without further ado, we're going to turn it over and let you get started.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good evening. Like Jim said, I work for Alorica. I've been there for 3.5 years now. Work mostly with QuickBooks Desktop. I know you said you use online. We're going to talk about online at least as much as I know, and we'll figure out the rest. Did we find that? Do we know if Angie does online or desktop? Can we? That would be great. So if we don't have a lot that are doing desktop, we could probably focus a little more online. So what I've got on the screen is the dashboard for QuickBooks Online. It says Reese and Test. Reese is my son. He works at Alorica also in the online side. So he has a test account to help teach new hires how to use QuickBooks Online. That's what we're using tonight. Dashboard, just to start out, is the main part. This is where you're going to do most of your navigation from. Excuse me. This can be laid out any way that you want it to be laid out. You can move boxes so that they're whatever's important can be top row, first, whatever. All of this is customizable. So however you need to lay out the dashboard for you it's there, it's possible. You can expand these boxes if you need more space or you need bigger text to see what's there. All of that can be done. All right. From this page, you get to everything else that you need to do. You want to create an invoice for a customer. You'll do it from this page. Under sales, you'll go to invoices. Now this menu on the side, part of the dashboard, this will be your navigation for the entire program, the entire website. So sales and invoices. And as you work down through here, you find create an invoice. What is on the list right here are invoices that are open still, that need to be paid and closed. But whatever it is that you're looking for, if you want to reconcile your bank statement, you'll do it from this page. Anyway, I do want to talk a little bit about how to manage your transactions. That is done through this transaction portion of the menu. The transactions are basically just your checkbook, your check register, your money. So in this, You can see you can do app transactions. This will be from your mobile app. If you happen to use that, you can see that there are other apps that you can connect to QuickBooks Online. You may do online business, and that will, these will connect for you, so you don't have to try and figure out how to get Amazon to load transactions into your online account or eBay like you see there. There are several. You may have an Amazon seller account, Square. We can connect with Square fairly easily.
Now, if you have a question, don't hesitate to.
Please.
You
Where you've used online in the past, I don't want to go over a lot of redundant stuff for you. And I certainly want to make sure the people at home get what they need today as well.
We just recently switched this week to the Square.
Okay,
Processing, credit card processing.
okay,
We're kind of struggling on how to, yeah, well, how to get the transactions in there. We've just been entering them ourselves,
Mhm.
you know, manually so
Okay.
far, but they haven't actually imported those over
Mhm.
yet because they haven't approved the account and all that, and it's approved, but
Yeah.
they haven't put the money in yet, so nothing's really showing up yet.
Okay. Have you used this to connect it, or are you waiting until?
I have not.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know exactly how this connection works. But I can connect you with somebody at Alorica that does. And they'd be happy to come and visit you and help you get that set up.
That would be great.
We do offer a service at Alorica. We're going out into the community and helping people with these programs, desktop or online.
So the only thing what's the, we've already even on inventory and the items of the customers will that layer, so what happens if we link it, will it double it? Yeah.
It's a good question. And I'm sorry, I don't have the answer. I do know, a lot of the times with these imports, it's a matter of, all the information gets imported and then you match it to what's already there. Sometimes you can just import it and load it into your register or whatever it is. But I know with bank feeds, if you're just downloading your transactions to reconcile your checkbook, it's a match type thing. You just, the bank tells you you've done this and you match those to whatever you already have in your system.
Now, are you already set up using Square?
Yes, we are.
You have been for a while?
No, just this week.
Yesterday.
Well,
They'll
yeah,
do
really,
it.
yeah, it was just yesterday, really.
My wife owns a floral business down in Peterstown. And so she started using Square in October. So there was some things, there was an issue trying to get it set with the bank. The bank was saying Square's fault, Square was saying the bank's fault. So they have to put like $1 in the account and all this to test that.
Well, they did the 1 penny,
Okay,
and that went through,
Transactions.
and then I got an email saying that was fine. Now it would be 3 to 5 days before the final approval, and then they would start depositing the
and
funds.
then so she was, I believe in trust but verify. So you may want to double check those things that it is.
Do you care to tell me what bank it was that, that's who we got?
Okay. I didn't want them in the recording. But it took a while and we call tech support and things like that for it to,
Sync together.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
and I don't know if it's just what it is. But we found.
I don't have it pulled up.
She just said.
Oh, okay. So Angie uses online also. Angie, go ahead and post questions in the chat and they'll feed them to me. We'll do our best to get them answered. So yeah, I will make sure that you have my contact information. I'll get that to Angie and anybody else that's watching. We can get that to you and set up somebody to come and help you. Won't be me. I don't know online that well. But anyway, so like I was saying with the transactions, you can connect your bank. Most banks out there, especially the larger banks now, will give you a way to connect to them, and you can just download whatever transactions have processed through the bank into your QuickBooks. Transactions, we also have the receipts. We like the receipts. That's the best part, isn't it? Money coming in. Don't much care for the money going out, but I guess it has to. You can see other things here, reconcile rules. If you're downloading your transactions from your bank, AEP or Appalachian Power, most of us pay them every single month. May not be the same amount every month, but you can put a rule in here that says if it comes in from AEP, if AEP processed through the bank, put it towards this account. Your chart of accounts. You can have it go straight to your utilities account or your electricity account, whatever it is. And you don't have to worry about trying to make sure that you're putting it in the right place in your chart of accounts. It'll automatically do that every time it sees Appalachian Power. All kinds of different rules. Works about the same way as rules in email if you happen to use those. You can tell certain senders to go to a particular folder, so you've got them separated from the junk. Then your chart of accounts. I just mentioned that. Chart of accounts is the brain of any accounting bookkeeping software. See if I can get it without moving the mouse. The chart of accounts is everything that has to do with your money in your business. So I recommend when you're setting up your chart of accounts that you hire a bookkeeper or an accountant to work with you. Make sure that you vet them, that you trust them, because they're dealing with your money. And that's something you don't want messed with in the wrong direction.
You all do that internally or well, that's somebody outside?
Yeah, we have, I have a CPA in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah. So this is how your money moves through QuickBooks. Any reports that you run, they're going to be generated by what's in the chart of accounts. Anything that, like I was saying, the electric bill, you're going to put it into an expense account. Let me roll down here to the bottom. Expenses, money going out, and utilities is right there. It doesn't have a balance over here, probably because we haven't run anything through this test account for that. But as I'm saying, if you set up a bank feed rule, like we just were talking about, you'll start seeing your balance, how much you're spending on electricity, and it won't just be for that month. It'll just keep a running total for however many months that you want to look at. So income and expenses, I don't want to get a lot into bookkeeping and accounting because I'm sure you guys understand books probably better than I do. But I will try and answer questions if you haven't. And then you can also set up reoccurring transactions. Maybe you do pay a budget to AEP or Appalachian. You can set up, I pay this much on this date every single month, and it will just automatically take care of it on that date. Now it won't pay the bill, but it'll show you on your dashboard, you got this due today. You want to approve it and send it. And if you're connected to AEP, you can pay your bill online straight from this.
There's reports you can run in Square. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I would assume that the reports you could run in Square are similar to the ones you could do in QuickBooks. For if you're collecting sales tax, I don't know if you all collect sales tax or anything like that, but with those kind of reports, because you got to file that monthly, things like that. So, but I would assume there's probably at least the same, if not more, reports QuickBooks as Square.
Yep. And actually, you must be looking at the outline because that's next. Generating reports. Reports are very important because they teach you, they tell you how you're spending your money, who's paying money to you, how much, how often. You may have, with the locksmith, you may have a car lot that you do keys for. And you can keep track of just that one place, or you can keep track of everybody that you do regular service for. You can keep another report that's just people that walk in off the street. Reports can be set up pretty much any type of customization you might want. We scroll down here. We have some favorited. Balance sheet. Are you all familiar with the balance sheet? Yeah. All right. So balance sheet is wonderful. Probably not as wonderful as the profit and loss, but only when there's a positive number at the bottom of the profit and loss report. So this report can be customized. You want to do year to date, or if you want to do just last month, whatever time frame you want to pull up, you can do that. You want to show just the totals. Maybe you want to show them by the month, break it down. And here just any second, save customization. I probably ought to do that. And there you go, month by month, what your balance was, how much came in, how much went out. And then at the bottom, it keeps a running total of how you're doing as far as your liabilities, your equity. Go back to reports. I know that isn't very big. I have tried to find out how to customize all this dead space up here and it won't let me do it. Profit and loss, same way. You can do whatever dates you need, whatever columns, dates, months, weeks. You can break it down by who you paid and who paid you, if you want to. Whatever it is that you need specific, especially for an accountant or a bookkeeper, you can print it off right here. The nice thing with online is, your accountant's in Ohio, so he has access and just log in and look at your books. That's wonderful about QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Desktop is not that way. So that's probably one of the biggest selling points for online. And we've worked with businesses that have locations all over the country, and they can all log in and work in that one website, do whatever it is that they do at their location, enter that data in from wherever they are.
How long have we gone with you?
I've used it. I didn't start out with the online. I started out with this.
I really like desktop. It does a whole lot more than online will do, especially with inventory, those kinds of things. But online is the way to go nowadays. You can access it from wherever you are. I would hope that you don't go on vacation to the Bahamas and sit on the beach and do accounting, but you can if you want to. As long as you have an internet connection, you can do your books. So any questions about transactions or generating reports? Be thinking about what you
questions will happen after swear.
Right. If there is stuff that you want to know, like I said, if we don't know it, we'll try and figure it out.
Well, we did have one issue. Was issuing a refund, and we were trying to get it to do right in QuickBooks. Our accountant, what she did was just enter a journal entry, which
Okay.
in turn made it correct on her end, but it didn't really correct anything on our end.
Okay.
So that's something that we're still looking to
figure out how to do.
With this help up here at the very top, do you guys ever use that when you have questions about?
Yeah.
Okay, that, if you were to call our office, call for tech support, the stuff that's in this help panel, this help menu, it's the exact same stuff that we look at when we troubleshoot with you and walk you through how to fix or how to do these things. The exact same articles. It's all in the same database. So you can use this to look those things up. That's what I was gonna do, was refunds, because I didn't really look up refunds. But let's see if we can figure it out. It's a vendor refund, a customer refund.
So the cash.
Okay, well, then now as a credit, did you give them store credit or did you give them cash back? Okay,
That's where it was throwing some things off.
okay. Record a customer refund in QuickBooks. So let's see. The invoice was already paid. You gave them money back. Let's find out what that says. There's a video to watch on YouTube. Select new and then credit memo. Usually these things have links where it'll take you to whatever new that they're talking about. This is going to be under customers and probably our sales, and then let's see. I don't see a new, do you guys?
Yeah, it's in the top left.
Top left. Of- Oh. Now that you've shown me that, I'll get to use it all the time. Credit memo, there it is. Okay. So whichever customer it is, you would choose that. It should auto-populate all the other information. We'll go down to whatever invoice it is. And as far as I can tell, you fill out whatever it is and you hit the button, save and close.
Did y'all do that? Did y'all see that before?
Yeah.
Y'all did that?
Okay, well, now that's credit memo. I apologize. That isn't a cash refund. Gonna be similar though. That's one of the things that we'll work on and get you an answer. Should have brought my son with me. That would have worked. Regardless, this help panel is a lifesaver. The nice thing also is with this help panel, if you do contact us and fill out the information, whatever you're looking for help with, there's some information like your name, phone number, and we'll call you within about 5 minutes or so. Once you hit this, get a call, you'll get a phone call from us. You know, Intuit's on the other end of the line. There are a lot of scammers out there that will call you and tell you your card didn't go through, you need to pay us. The only time we call you is if you hit this button. So very nice feature, and that's available in QuickBooks Desktop also. The troubleshooting the common issues, that's really for QuickBooks Online. That's what you do. You go to the help menu and search for what it is that you're looking for. Again, we've got people that can come out if it's something you really just can't figure out, and we'll send them to you. There is no charge when we do this. We want to see you guys prosper, so we offer this service. Any questions about anything? We can try and figure it out.
Angie. There we go.
If you don't have it up, is that
Mm-mm.
right, Jim? If I have 2 years of data in the QuickBooks,
You got to click on because
Yeah.
it's longer than.
yeah, that's what I'm. If I have 2 years in the QuickBooks, is it possible or ideal to convert over to the desktop version?
Not necessarily, no. You don't
Let her
need
know
to.
your answer.
Oh, yeah, Angie, I'm answering your question. So it's not necessary to switch to desktop. Desktop would be more if you work with a very detailed inventory. Maybe you have inventory in several locations. You need to track all of it. Desktop can do that where online can't. You can close like the previous year in your QuickBooks Online. And that way it's kind of locked, so changes can't be made, that sort of thing, and you're just working in that 1 year.
She goes on to say, is there a better way to batch load transactions without the inventory managed in QuickBooks? I do have many items that are used to create my sellable items.
I don't know of an easy way I'm sorry, Angie, I'm answering yours again. I don't know of an easy way to just batch load a lot of inventory items at once. I can tell you that if you were to use purchase orders, when you order your inventory, when you receive the product, when you receive your inventory, you can tell it that you've received these items and it will load them into your inventory for you. So you don't have to sit and enter each thing line by line.
She goes on to say, I make coffee, so I buy milk, creamer, and coffee to build my coffee. So each transaction of a coffee sale doesn't line up with my expenses. Thank you for answering my questions.
You're welcome. And Angie, the offer is there for you also. I'll make sure you have my contact information. If you ever need someone from Alorica to come over and help you with your books, we'd be more than happy to help you figure out how to do things. Just you'll get in touch with me and I'll find who you need and get them to you. Any other questions about seriously anything? Like I said, if I don't know it, we'll figure it out.
Are you using QuickBooks for your inventory now?
Yeah.
Square
Okay.
also does it. So I don't know. There's I think a module, but I would stick with one or the other. I don't know that, because that could be
Yeah, if they don't line up and match, that could be a nightmare, yeah.
I would think one of them, my background's engineering, not accounting, so I would think one's gonna have to be the dominant one that control.
Yeah.
And
If
we,
not, you could have
yeah,
a lot of problems.
yeah.
Do you guys use purchase orders now? Okay,
That's what I was asking. Bethany, because she
Oh, to
does-
put it in for
Yeah,
inventory.
she does the ordering and.
Yeah. yeah, and I know it's an extra step. But if you put what you're ordering in the purchase order in here, when the box comes in and you've got whatever it is, you tell QuickBooks, I've received these items. And your inventory is loaded with those items. They get added automatically to your inventory.
Go to that purchase order.
Products and services, sounds like the right thing. Now, we have no inventory in here whatsoever right now. Let's find out. Oh, I clicked too quick. All right. That's to add inventory. Well, we'll go back to help, won't we? I don't generally work with laptops. Purchase order process. Let's see what that says. All right. Step one, turn on a purchase order feature in settings. Go to account and settings. Select your expenses tab, purchase orders. And my guess is when you go back to products and services, you're going to see the purchase order option. Account settings. Expenses. Okay. Purchase orders. It's turned on. Oh. Back to what you guys just taught me. New. Purchase order. There it is. Who are you buying it from? The purchase order, you want to keep it open until you receive the items? And then what are you ordering? Hopefully you've already got stuff set up in your inventory for that, but if you don't, there's an add new. And that you would add inventory items. Yep. Save and close, and you have purchase order. To receive the items, I'm guessing same thing. I don't see one on here. Won't let me save it until I put stuff in there. There it is though, under new. Anything else that you can think of? QuickBooks Online's got to be easy because I'm learning it right now. Did you start to say something? I cut you off. I'm sorry. Okay. Quite a bit of other stuff in here. I can go over some of it if you want. Advanced accounting, not really, unless you have fixed assets, it's not something you want to mess with. Fixed assets, you want to make sure that your accountant is setting that up for you because there's things like depreciation that has to be figured out, depreciation rates and that sort of thing. Fixed assets are going to be your building, property that you own, those kinds of things. Big purchases that would be considered an asset. Vehicles are usually not fixed assets because they go away in time. Your building hopefully is yours for quite a while. Expenses, are your vendors who you pay. Doesn't have to just be inventory. Any bills that you have to pay are your vendors. There is something, do you guys do any, you or Angie, do you guys do any forecasting of, you look back at where you were a year ago and maybe what you can expect for the next month or couple of months? What you might expect?
No, our income's pretty consistent. We pretty much within 1,000 or two, it's about the same every month.
Okay.
You can never use as a budgeting tool.
There's budgeting in here. Yeah, but you can certainly use forecasting to set a budget. If you've already got a budget, you can just put it in here and it'll keep track. I budgeted $15,000 for the electric bill. And each time that you pay the electric bill, it removes just a little bit. You can keep track of, this is how much we've spent so far, this is how much we still intend to spend. But this software is designed, this website is designed to make your accounting and bookkeeping easy.
What about, this is a crazy question, but what about mileage? I'm thinking with your business, because you all done some stuff for us. in the
Yeah.
city.
We travel a lot.
Right, is there a way in QuickBooks that you can track billable mileage?
There is.
Because there's certain people that are good about tracking it, and then there's people, but my wife has that flower business. She was a teacher and done this, and I told us, you need to be tracking the mileage because, that's a tax deduction that you can use. So
Right.
is there a tool in this for mileage and those kind of,
There is,
related?
and I believe, I'm not 100%, I know that there's a mobile app you can download on your phone, and I'm pretty sure you can track your mileage there. And it will upload to this. Yeah, it's a QuickBooks app. And that way, whoever it is that's driving can keep it right there as, not as they're driving. But whenever they start and stop, they put in mileage right there on their phone and it will upload to the website.
Y'all, something else to track it.
Well, I don't track mileage. When you first buy a vehicle, you have to decide if you're gonna do actual expenses. or you're gonna do- Yeah, and you can't switch during the lifetime of owning that vehicle
Yeah.
until you purchase another one. So the first set of vans we had, I did do the mileage tracking, but it was a nightmare because nobody would write their mileage down and have the mileage log books in each vehicle. Nobody would do it. So I got frustrated. Next round of vans I bought, I was like, I'm just gonna do actual expenses. So that's where we are now.
Wonder which one's better.
Oh, I'm sure I did much better deducting mileage. Because I've had, my vans, I've had 3 years now, the second round of them. One of them's close to 100,000, one just went over 100,000.
I think the rate is at 63.
Yeah, it's right around there.
Yeah, it changes every year, but yeah, right.
Mhm.
If that's 60 cents. No, not until I would purchase a new van and then we'll change it.
Angie's doing okay? Any other questions come up there?
No,
No?
sir, not yet.
Okay. All right, well,
But she is football. She can't deduct her mileage from there, but all the other stuff.
Service that.
So it's almost like, if like me and you run a vehicle till the wheels come off. The mileage at the end, you make them off better if you look back to expenses, but. I don't know, we all trade out vans every.
I did my other ones in 5 years and then I've had these for.
Because a van depreciates over 5 years, is that right? A vehicle. So I guess once they're appreciated now, you might as well trade it and get something else. Okay.
familiar with classes at all? I just saw those on this list. You know what, how to use classes? You can set up each individual person as a class if you want to. Classes are just I'm losing the word already. Designation, there it is. You're designating a certain group of transactions to one specific thing. Contractors would use classes to, I'm building the house on this street. That's a class, that street, because that one house. the other house on this street, that's another class. And so everything that you use to build that house, to build this house, gets that class assigned. And that way, at the end of, you've got a full accounting of just that one class, that one house that you're building. I don't know if that would help with anything that you all do, with what Angie does. But it is something to think about. Maybe do some research and see if it would help you out in some way. I've seen businesses that have several locations, and they have each location set up as a class. So they can keep transactions separate and pull up just my store in Princeton or my store in Bluefield, Virginia, whatever.
So Christian's birthday. Then I'll give him, cut him some slack when I respond to that.
I just wanted to cover it.
Um,
And Mr. Jim, I have Miss Angie's contact information for you.
super. Okay.
She said she had no more questions for today.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out tomorrow
Okay.
and start a dialogue, see if there's anything we can do to help. I know how to reach y'all. But
Why did you pick Square? I mean, we did too. I mean, you know, that was the big name and we put Square on our food trucks. But then now you're seeing that others say they're cheaper and this and that. Did y'all look at that a whole lot?
It's kind of simplified. A lot of the ones like go to the bank or whatever, there's a whole lot of red tape to that.
And I don't know own the equipment, don't, because, you know, a lot of times like your internet at home, you know, you're renting that motor, you're paying $6-7 a month. By the time, you know, a few years, you didn't pay for that thing 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and I think.
Not a lot of upfront investment for
Right.
a Square, whereas, I mean, we did Clover at one time, and I had the whole system, I had the big system, and then we had the little handhelds, and I had a lot of money invested in it.
You have the guys in the field take the,
We did have that.
you did do the field with the Square.
Well, we haven't got our readers yet, but,
You want to do the attachment to the iPhone or?
well, you can do it just on your phone now, just the tap it, yeah, you can do the tap now.
I haven't seen that, but I know this, my wife has told me, and I stay out of it, I'm just the financial. She said that if you manually input the card number, the transaction fee is not,
It's much,
things like 5.
well, it's like 3.5, and then you've got a transaction fee on top of that. Whereas the others, if you swipe it or tap it, you're looking at like maybe 2.7.
Yeah, because I mean, that's real. I didn't, somebody told me in West Virginia, you can't. Can you legally pass that on as a service fee to the customer?
Well, we have been, and we were told that we could, but then when we went to register for Square, it popped up and said that it was no longer allowed. So I don't, and it said due to new regulations, so.
Right, my understanding in West Virginia, and I don't know about Virginia, because Jacob Key helped, he's at Bluefield University, he helped at the bowling baseball field group, I've been with them. He also helped with our training for our folks in food truck. And that question came up, and he said that he thought it was illegal in West Virginia. I don't know about other states, but it's illegal in West Virginia to charge that fee. So I don't know what the truth is on that, because, but you think average of 3%.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, you know, for a business.
Really, I don't know if it is illegal, I mean, I guess.
I mean, everybody does it, I mean,
Yeah.
in my water bill, it's 3.5%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know, you know, I'm just,
Unless it's just something that's recently passed where they changed it. Yeah, I don't know.
but that's because of Square, it's the same thing that she was looking at, because right now she's eating it, but at some point, you know, even if you raise up the cost. The 3%, it's still going up, you know what I mean? You're not really recouping.
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
Or unless you just say, we'll give a cash discount, you pay cash, you know.
And a lot of places, yeah, Dolly's does that. Dolly's Honor Princeton, they do the cash discount. I don't know a lot of people, but
I don't know how you track that with Square and. I guess there probably would be a
well,
way.
you could put in your discounts because I get like a military discount, so I enter that as a discount. So you could probably just
So
do.
you wouldn't do that with cash, you don't do cash. Swear.
Well, that's right.
You
Yeah,
know, you're right.
So you just use Square for their credit cards.
yeah. So we just we enter that at the discount. QuickBooks. Yeah. So there's options on there.
So which one of you all the QuickBooks Scooter? One of you's gotta be better than the others. Are y'all family?
We are.
I'm trying to start a fight. So I mean, you know, that's just, I thought I'd start something, okay, which one is better?
Well, I've done it longer, but I'm not, you're more knowledge. I probably do have a little more knowledge, but they have the sharper minds. Probably Bethany's, you know, she's been with me, what, 6 years, 7 years?
The only problem we really had is taking the iPad in and out of the docking station and the broken docking station. And you use the docking station with the iPad or what do you?
We just use our desktop.
That's about.
Well, yeah, yeah, she does.
You guys. Jim, we're still recording. Y'all have any questions? And if you want, you may want to just,
I don't know if there's a reason to go into desktop unless you really want me to. So,
can folks email you if they have additional questions?
absolutely, yes.
All right, why don't you call out what your email
All right,
address is?
so my email address is james.norman@alorica.com. And you will reach me. I'll answer every question I can or find somebody that will.
James, thank you. Jim, thank you for what you've done and thank you for the folks that's been online.
I appreciate it.